can see, or hopefully you can hear, I finally turned down the volume on Human Resource Machine. Also, it looks like they got the achievements working. An update got applied to the game, and I'm guessing that's what it was, because I just saw like 3 or 4 achievements scroll up before I started recording. And here we are to number 16, I think it was. I should have read the title before. Yes, welcome back. Tick, tick, tick. Time keeps ticking down, let's get to work. Oh, yes. I love fun with your hair. Okay, I don't know why that's relevant. Let's see, for each number in the inbox, send that number to the outbox, followed by all numbers up to or 0. Numbers down to. Let's see, so okay, so for, let's see, so you get new commands. They add 1 or subtract 1 from an item on the floor. The result is given back to you, and for your convenience, also written right back on the floor. So what we need to do is count down which... Oh, okay, so I get this. I thought we were having to like count down the number in a different way. So this is actually a little bit simpler than I thought. So what we need to do is we copy this to the floor for later, and then we're going to we're going to have a positive, so we're going to want to bump minus from 0 and then put that on to the outbox, and then jump back here, and then if it's 0 we want to jump out without taking it to the outbox, and if it's negative then we need to bump plus down here. I'll put that in front of that, then take that to the outbox, and then if 0, wait a second, so if it's 0 we do want to put it in the outbox, right? Yeah, okay, so we want all numbers to 0, so up here we wanted to put it in the outbox and then jump out, same with here. And then once it gets here, it just needs to jump back up to the top so it can repeat it. I think that'll get everything. Let's see how that works. So we'll put that down, and then so we need to copy from 0 first. Yeah. So he'll put it down now, he'll go copy it. Now he'll put that down. Okay. So obviously I forgot to copy from in a few places. So after every outbox he needs to copy from 0. But luckily the value is going to be the same because we only use this first one. Good. Now I'll get it and do that. 1 and 0. And now it'll go back to the first. Good. Now we'll just see, and if this works I'll just speed it up so we don't have to watch it. No! I shouldn't have done that, but why did it? Oh, I forgot. It has to jump back to the start of this unless it's 0. Yeah. So now they should both work. Yeah, I forgot, the one we have, should be gesturing with the mouse, you can't see my hand, but, I forgot let's see. So if it does have 0, then they just need to jump back to the start because they only need the outbox 0. I'm pretty sure if I'd written it a little better, it would, you know, have included 0, but I think it's working. What? Oh. It's a little hard to jump with 0 if it's automatically jumping ahead. Yeah. It's like 5. There might be a few stupid mistakes. What? Oh, you stupid thing. Yeah, you really gotta be careful about how you jump and end up messing them up. There we go. Good. Haha. How badly did I fail? Yeah, I used like, 17. Now we have 20, and we'll probably... I should check what time I started this. Yesterday you were learning about adding. Fond memories. We worked so hard back then. Yeah, I did. So for each 2 things in the inbox, multiply them and outbox the result. Don't worry about negative numbers for now. You got labels. They can help you remember the purpose of each tile on the floor. Just tap any tile on the floor to edit. Oh, so they've given us a piece of code already. Copy from 0, copy to hello. So we're gonna take to the inbox, copy to 0, get from the inbox and copy to 0, and then we want to multiply them. Let's see. Do this here. I don't know why. So let's see. So this is okay. Maybe labels don't actually work. Because it just, I can't get the game back up to take up the entire screen. Oh, that's gonna be annoying. Let's see. So I just want to see. I set it down. Good. Hello. Hello there. Let me think. So 6 times 3 is 18. I could add 6 to 3 6 times if I had like a what I could do is then add this to 0 and then bump down hello and then copy from hello and then jump back to do that. I just want to see if that's going to destroy the value. So, So 5 times 4 is 20. Ah, that's the problem. I'm thinking in this of terms of what to do to make 5 times 4 equal 20, not to make one number times any other number equal any other number. So what I need to do is this one. Oh, that's interesting. So this one is going to be the adder. You can see my penmanship. There we go. Oh my gosh, it looks more like ander or something. So yeah, this one, so it'll put it in here. It'll copy the first one to here and the second one to here. So we need to base how many times we multiply it off of this second one, but we also need to be adding it by adding the first two together. So this is going to be I'm gonna just call it safe, because what we're gonna do, I think, is we will add these two together and the value will be the same. Then we're gonna bump down or bump up the adder one based on if it's negative, and then once we've done that, we're gonna copy this from the floor and add it to hello if it isn't 0. And I probably want to get rid of this real quick, so gotta think about this rationally. So now that that's done, what we're gonna do is if it's negative, we're gonna skip here. So if it's not negative, then we are going to add, so we will have just copied to here, so we need to copy from hello. Let's just see how that does. So we put it down, get 4, now we add 5 to 4, and then we're going to copy that to the safe place, and then bump down adder, and then if adder isn't 0, then we're gonna jump back up to the top to add hello again. Let's just see, so we have 3, so we should see 3 getting, so we should put down 7 in the safe place. I forgot I need a master jump. Oh, if it's 0, it needs to jump out. If it isn't, it just needs to actually jump back in. Okay, my mistake. So 1 and 3, so yeah, as long as, oh, we don't have any negatives right now. Okay, confused. Okay, go away. So obviously what I forgot to think about is what it's doing is the safe spot is working fine, I guess, but what we need to do is when it jumps, I'm trying to think of how to do this with the least commands also, just so you know. So what we need to do really is, so the safe thing is working fine, we need to copy, let's see which value we're losing. We're losing the one from adder. So we still have the one from adder, so we're gonna copy it to another spot. We're gonna copy it to 1 because what we need to really do is we add to hello, and we'll already have the one from adder. Then we copy that to safe, and then we bump down the adder one, and then we'll have adder. But then we need to copy from 1, add it to hello, and then add that value to safe, and then restart the process using the jump if 0 to check for whether or not it's 0, and that should just add this value, and then once it's 0, it should take it to the outbox and then jump back up to the top. We don't need this jump if negative, it's that there are no negatives, I realized. I'm guessing that's the next step though, but see, so this is a little bit more complicated because I'm trying to actually use the floor. Okay, so now we're still adding 7. Why'd it add that twice? Uh-oh. Okay, it's got itself into an infinite loop. So if adder gets to 0, it needs to skip out of this anyway. So sorry, I keep like leaning in because it got smaller. So I think that our problem here is that when it jumps up, it's adding hello again, but it's not checking for the adder thing, because let's just see. Okay, so there we have our original. They get added, it kicks that down, and it gets the 2 and adds it to the 4, and then it adds those together. Okay, but it isn't putting it down on safe again, so what it needs to do is, so this first hello can be skipped when it jumps, okay, because that's just to make sure it gets added the first time. Okay, so that'll add, and it should get up to like 60. That was a bad choice. So if it does jump out of here, it needs to copy from safe first to make sure that, you know, it's taking the right value. 4 times 3 is easier. We should get 12. Okay, already it's too high. 4 times 3, how do you do that? Without a specific multiplier. Yeah, I expected 12. Don't give me a multiply command, I kinda have to think up on the fly. Let me think. So I think we're along. Oh, I know what I need to do. Okay, so what we're gonna do is when we get this first, okay, so multiply them and outbox the result. Okay, so what we need to do instead of the way I've been doing it is when we copy this one to hello, we also need to copy it to 1 because we need to be adding those together. So then we get the inbox, and that's how many times we multiply it. So then what we're going to want to do is copy from 1. So it's timesing 2 by 2, and it does that an amount of times, and then it just adds what it gets together, and hopefully that should fix the problem. So what it'll do, oh no, okay, that's one problem. Let's see what did it do? So here, so it copies that there, go slow, and then it needs to copy back from 1 to add to hello. Okay, so that's how many times it's going to multiply it. So there's 1. 6 times 4 is a number. So yeah, that's timesing by 3 now, and we need to just do it a certain number of times. I already forgot what the original value is. Fudge! It's still doing, like... Be 12, which is 4 times 3. 4 times 5, it's 20. 20 isn't 5 added 4 times. 20 is 5 added 4 times. I'm gonna look at this a little bit off camera and see if I can get it to go big screen again so you guys aren't having to look at all that extra space. So I have to go eat breakfast, and then I'll look at this a little bit off camera and see if I can figure out, like, if I've just accidentally put one command in here that's screwing the entire rest of it up. I'll be right back.